Hello again, this is Emma Wood for College Campus Report, and this week we're going to change it up a little bit. Rather than talk about the latest party or trend, we're going to discuss an issue that plagues college campuses nationwide: domestic violence. This episode includes interviews with a student and a field expert. Stay tuned. From my earliest memory, I can remember my parents and their friends talking about what my future would look like. Those conversations probably started before I was even born. People I love dreaming about my future. They probably talked about me growing up and going to some Ivy League school, falling in love, marrying some amazing person. Big hopes for a kid who couldn't even talk yet. This kind of conversation happens in houses all over the place, parents with high expectations. Those dreams never include relationships overshadowed by an abusive boyfriend or girlfriend. Today, this is actually called intimate partner abuse, and it is a very severe problem, especially for young people. In college, this abuse doesn't always look like the typical versions we see in movies or public service announcements. Intimate partner abuse often shows up as verbal or economic abuse, reproductive or even physical abuse. These can all be isolated forms or they can be combined. I'm lucky enough to not have any first-hand experience in this area, so I sought out help from an expert. Sarah Williams is the Assistant Director of the Office of Victims Assistance at CU Boulder. She explained to me how intimate partner abuse translates in young couples, specifically with financial abuse.
There also might be some financial abuse that's happening, which part of that is really to make the victim in the relationship dependent upon the abuser. So in college students, that might look like the abuser saying, we're going to take all the same classes, and we're going to only buy one set of textbooks. So then that person is then dependent on that person for their studying. That would be one way it might show up specifically to students in terms of the financial abuse.
Isolation and dependence are pretty common trademarks of intimate partner abuse. The abusive partner often attempts to control every aspect of their partner's life: who they see, when they see them, and where they go. This is often followed by extreme acts of aggression and could, but doesn't always lead to violence, whereas verbal, reproductive, and financial abuse don't always leave a physical mark. It can be hard for outsiders to see, or for people to even detect a problem. Gabby Ottagari is a first-year college student who has seen many loved ones experience all sorts of intimate partner abuse, and she is definitely not alone.
I've had many friends that suffer from abusive relationships, specifically female friends that say they've been told things about their physical appearance by their significant other, or about something that just affects their emotional state that gets at them, and they use it to manipulate them into doing specific things that they're not necessarily interested in doing, usually sexual acts, and it's way more common than I'd wish to see.
Instances of abuse are often dismissed by victims who forgive their partner because they love them. Many truly believe that their loved one will change, or that there isn't a real problem that needs fixing. In this situation, they will not leave the relationship or seek help unless they decide to do so themselves. The good news is that in our 21st century world, there are many resources out there for the victims who do decide to seek help. From confidential counseling and police reports to restraining orders and even safe houses, help is available. Safe House Progressive Alliance for Nonviolence is an example of the protection a victim has access to here in Boulder, Colorado. They work closely with the victim to establish a safety plan, relocate them to a confidential location. Then they work with the victim to take the appropriate legal action if any is wanted. Throughout this whole process, they can talk to counselors and therapists so that the victim can begin to recover and ultimately rebuild. There are many similar organizations like this one nationwide, and even on your own school campus. The cycle of intimate partner abuse does not have to continue. It does not have to happen on your college campus. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our website, www.collegecampusreport.com, where you'll find all the information you may need. Next week, join us in a discussion about trending apps and tips for how to survive finals week. This has been Emma Wood for College Campus Report.